All right, let's jump into this. So one of the biggest things that you're known for is women. Because look, one of the first things that really confused me about you when we met was the fact that you're not a one-woman man.
Okay, that's not completely true. I'm not saying I couldn't have and enjoy the company of a single female for eternity. I'm saying, my point is that, truthfully, if we remove all the garbage and the fairy tales, if men are true to their biology, no man is completely and utterly a one-woman man. That's my point. Now, there are some dudes out there who are going to disagree with me, but those are dudes, they got low testosterone, they got the big G, they ain't got no money, they ain't nothing, right? That's different. But any man who's actually in a position of status, since the dawn of human time, every single king, every single sultan, all of them had more than one chick. That's actually the natural human state. My point is, any man who has the means to attract or solicit the company of more than one female likely will enjoy the company of more than one female. Does that make sense? But the point I'm making is everything translates, right? It's a spider's web. If you're gonna find a man who's truly warrior-minded, who's truly conquest-minded, who's truly hard to govern, is he gonna get one chick and let her tell him what to do with his life? No. He's gonna be that guy who does whatever he wants. And this is where we also tie into loyalty, because loyalty is a completely misunderstood concept.
You value loyalty.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But male loyalty, masculine loyalty is completely misunderstood. All these dudes out here who are at home with their wife thinking they're loyal, you're not loyal. Loyalty is having options and returning to the same place, not only having one option. They're very different things. If I walk into the store and they only sell apples and I buy an apple, I'm not loyal to apples. I don't have a choice. Loyalty is walking in the store where they sell all the fruit. I buy apples 6 days a week. Occasionally I get a big fat pineapple and I go back to apples the day after. That's loyalty. Without choice, there's no loyalty. So most of these dudes and most women who say, he's loyal, he's lame and he can't get nothing else. That's not loyal. Loyal is a dude who has all those options and still is in love with you. That's what loyalty is. So masculine loyalty is completely misconstrued and misunderstood anyway. The truth is about most of these dudes who talk about being loyal, they couldn't get something else if their life depended on it. Nobody wants it.
I respect it, I understand it, but for me personally, I just don't think that's something that I could.
Yeah, you're living in a fairy tale, my dear. When you're with a real G.
I understand and I agree with you to a very large extent. However, I still want to prove you wrong one day.
Listen.
I will prove you wrong.
You could go out there and find the biggest bad boy you can find who is loyal to you, which is fine. But the fact that he is sexual exclusive to you means that for some reason, we don't know why yet, there's a human metric in which he does not excel in every form.
I respect it, no judgment.
Okay.
The confusion that I have is you're jet setting, right? You're here, you're there, and we'll get to that. But how does that work, right? Because at the end of the day, women want love, emotion, and attention. And if you're jet setting and if you have multiple women, how does that work practically?
I don't have any women. It was just an observation. I don't have any women.
Let's be honest.
I know what you're saying. Women want love and they want attention and those kind of things. And yeah, I travel the world. But I really don't think that it's difficult to maintain a relationship purely based on... If the connection is true, then the physical presence doesn't have to be as prevalent. Just put it that way, right? There's lots of soldiers go to war and they have a wife at home who loves them very much.
But that's different because they're going to die for a cause. Let's just
I'm going to war. I'm out here in the streets. How do you think I'm making all this money?
But what do you do? But like, you're not fighting a battle.
All I do is fight. My life is a fight. What do you mean I'm not fighting a battle? I'm fighting a battle against the oppression of humankind. If I had a female, she would have to be very understanding of the fact that I am a man on a mission with a purpose. And you know, there are some missions she'll be allowed to come with me on, and some missions she can't come. It's not safe for females out here. But you know, but otherwise you got to be careful. Women are, you know what? And I don't want to look like a misogynist, as usual.
I think it depends how we're defining misogyny, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you define misogyny?
Realistic. A lot of misogyny is just realism. You know, like if you're a realist, then to some degree you're going to be a sexist.
But is that sexist? So is that sexist or is that just being real? Right? Because like, if it's a fact.
Yeah, exactly.
Then is that sexist?
Exactly. So I personally, I don't like traveling the world with women. I think it's one of the most frustrating things a man can possibly do.
Why?
Okay, imagine you had to travel around the world and you had to take a 3-year-old with you. You'd be like, oh, now you go, where's my 3-year-old? Has it 8? I have to make sure they're safe. Got to bring all their stuff. It's exactly the same with a chick. Me and my brother, we're Spartan, right? We can just go, rock up at an airport. There's no flight for 11 hours. Sleep in the airport terminal. Don't eat, don't sleep. One bag on our back. Old school soldiers. We don't care.
I do agree.
Women,
if I haven't eaten, I'm not good.
yeah. So women are effectively children. And
Well, no.
Yeah,
we're
so,
not.
no, so
we're
we
just
got
different.
there. No.
We're just different to men. We're not children. A child couldn't sit here and have this conversation with you.
Women have to be monitored and maintained and maintained effectively like a child would when it comes to
Not
travel.
like a child.
Yeah, same, exactly the same. It's the same.
It's interesting. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
listen, if I'm gonna go Iraq, Afghanistan, all the places, and I've been to these places, I go with Tristan, we're battle ready. You
Okay,
hear the
listen.
AK go off, we start running, like a chick will all be standing there, Nah.
No, that's true.
No. My father was the OG. I was raised by probably the best father on earth. I really genuinely
But he
believe
wasn't
that.
around.
But a father doesn't have to be around. This is a big mistake. This is another big mistake, especially among the conservatives and the tradcons and all this crap. The idea that a father needs to sit around like a second mother to make a child healthy is a fallacy. In fact, I'd say it's detrimental to the child. As a father, it's your job to be impactful. You need to guide. You need to be a role model. You need to be a superhuman. Everyone should look at their father like a superhero. That's what you should genuinely view him as. It's hard to be a superhero if you're home every day arguing with your wife, changing diapers. That's not what a man should do. A man should rock up, teach lessons, be impactful, and it's more about quality as opposed to quantity of time. I saw my dad once a month. He was out on the streets. He was pimping, hustling. My father was a chess grandmaster. He's traveling the world playing chess. He had all his girls. He's doing whatever he's doing. When he came home, it was an impactful time. Whether it was a positive impact or it was a big argument or whatever, never was I ever around my father. It was a low energy environment. That's not who he was as an individual. And I remember every single second spent with him. There's a whole bunch of dudes out here and chicks. Their father's home all the time, fine. But if you're home all the time, you're gonna lose to a degree your mystery. It doesn't matter how cool you are as an individual. If you're home all the time, always, you're not gonna have that magical power as opposed to, whoa, dad's home. I'm telling you, the biggest mistake fathers make is that they let the woman convince them that to be a good dad, they need to be there all the time. That is a complete lie. Fathers never did this. We were always at war or down in the coal mines or away working. This is the way it's always been for humanity, right? The men were away doing important things.
Why does that mystery matter?
Of course it matters, because life is mystery. Life is a whole...
That doesn't mean anything. That's just a lot of beautiful, exciting words.
Life is absolutely mystery. I'll tell you why the mystery matters. Because for a female to retain her attractionness to a man, there has to be a degree of mystery. That's the first thing. A woman is more attracted to a man who gives a little bit of mystery. When you watch a horror movie, what scares you is not the ghost that's on the screen. It's the thing you don't see. It's just walking and there's noise, you don't see anything, and then bang, it comes out of nowhere. That's how human mind works. A degree of mystery is extremely intriguing to the human mind. So it's extremely intriguing to the female for her man, is the first thing. And it's also extremely intriguing to the child for their father. I see so many fathers who walk in the house and the kids are just playing a video game. Dad walks in. They don't give a shit. Is that parenting? Are you a good dad now because you're home every day? Right? So if I had a son, it would be my duty to be out here, traveling the world, making money, having impact, being a fantastic individual. That is the primary focus of my existence, as opposed to sitting there with my boy all day, every day. I can come home every 2 weeks with a story. Boom. And he'll be like, Dad's the boss. It's like, yes, Dad is the boss. But my son should want to emulate me. He should want to be me. He is me. So I have to live a lifestyle which is worth emulating. When a king had a son, he wasn't staying at home changing diapers. He was conquering new lands and going to battle for the name, for the bloodline, to set an example for his son to graze into, right? Dad's out here, he's conquered this, he's built this castle, he's out there, he's slayed those people, killed those people. I'm the next, I gotta go do something. That's how a king raises a son, by example. Now, what most men do is they avoid physical confrontation because they're cowards, and they start doing physical confrontation. This is why men are so obsessed with money, because it's a degree of conquest. We can no longer walk the earth and conquer land, right? It's not like the olden days where we could just walk around as the Romans and just chop somebody up and take their land. So now we conquer the land financially. This is why men will work so hard to be a CEO and give up his whole life just to be a CEO, because then he gets to feel like he's conquering something. Men have that innate desire for conquest. But if someone were to say to me, look, you have to build the archetype of an individual. You have to build a man from the ground up, and he has to be respected by both men and women. And this is the point. So a lot of the things I say, people may disagree with them. People may say, I don't like the idea of that. Even some women may sit there and go, oh, that's wrong. There's a whole bunch of beta males who are going to try and pretend it's not true. But it's the absolute reality of Earth. It's the absolute reality of Earth. You have to be a man worth respecting. And that's extremely difficult to do. And if you're gonna do all those things, it's very, very hard to become a man worth respecting, sitting at home, changing diapers. And even if you just make money on your laptop, it's not enough.
It's more.
Peppa Pig.
It's
No, it
more
is.
than that.
Yeah, no,
it's so much more. That's funny you say Peppa Pig actually, because Boris Johnson was talking about Peppa Pig the other day.
Boris
so there you
Johnson,
go.
listen.
No, but other than children staying at home with the family,
All
how
of
do
it.
how do we stop what is
All of
going
it.
on?
Leia, my dear, it's all of it. This is what I'm trying to say. We just started this interview and you said it's unusual that I say a man should have more than one female, right? To you,
No, not unusual. Well, it is unusual. I just don't necessarily. It's not what I'm looking for. So for me, I'm just like, ugh.
I'm heartbroken.